Welcome to Conversations with K and J. We're your hosts, Kayla and Janae.
In here, we talk about love, life,
and lessons learned. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Daily Doses of Conversations with Kayla
and Janae.
In today's energy, we are looking into not being afraid of growing. Humans love to stay in what is comfortable and safe. But oftentimes, the danger of staying in what is comfortable is the lack of growth. Sometimes what we need most is a leap towards the unknown. For in this leap, we begin to grow and transform. A flower bud blossoming into a flower knows this uncomfortable feeling well. But the flower bud doesn't hesitate. It just blooms. Be like the flower bud and bloom anyway. If we don't, the pain of not growing becomes more painful than growing itself. Take the leap and don't be afraid to grow. What you think?
I think this goes with the message that I got today in my own personal reading about embracing the journey and embracing the unpredictability of things. That's the only way we can grow, if we start planting seeds.
Yeah. I feel like mine talked about caution and distractions, and I wasn't really pleasing to that message, but it just spoke on understanding that you can have your mind made up about certain things or certain directions in life, and it could end up taking you on different paths, but to basically embrace it regardless, because it's something to be learned from it and something to expand you in ways that you have never imagined for yourself.
Right. I feel like what do we have to lose in trying, really? In trying something new, or
the only thing you have to lose is a perspective that you've been holding on to, the old point of view and an old way of seeing yourself in life. I think that some people are scared to grow because they know what comes with growing and changing is that not everything and everyone gets to come along with that. And I think sometimes we get really comfortable in what it is that we do know. Well, I guess that's what they said. Humans love to stay in what is comfortable and safe. And a lot of people don't like to embrace change. Even when you think that you do, there are some ways in some areas of your life that you may just like to stay really tucked away and comfortable in, but eventually you will be challenged because there's always more to evolve into.
Right. So you just have to change your mindset that whatever you lose, you will gain so much more.
Right. So when we look into the cards, we have justice. So justice, being a major arcana, already signifies that there are big changes coming into your life collectively. And these ultimately are going to be things that challenge your views and your perspectives, but it is based off of karma. And karma doesn't have to just be looked at as a negative thing. It's definitely a positive thing if you're on that side of the scale. Justice brings in wrongs being righted. It also speaks on doors that were once closed being open to you so that you can find the balance, but it also, again, challenges you to change your mind around it. If you are so used to going after something and being told no and failing at it, this is pretty much that confirmation for you to try again, because this time won't be a no. Because all of those no's before taught you something that prepared you for this moment. You know, I think it's kind of like a conversation we were having. We've done a lot of different changes and evolving in the last 2 years and maybe going from one place to another. And though we felt like it didn't really push us to where we thought we would be at this point, it's not looking as though that's what life will always be. It's just taking the lessons from that and applying it to now to make better, wiser decisions, to bring in more of a balance. I think we have to fail. I think we have to go in circles for a while until we find what is truly beneficial for us to maintain the balance that we're seeking in life.
Right, right. I think we just need to make clear that the journey is about our experiences. You go on vacation to experience something new, right?
Right. And I think even with that example, when people go on vacation, a lot of those people realize, like, dang, I should do this more.
Right.
Or dang, I work
Right.
too much. And, like, I want to feel at peace more, and I want to do things that I enjoy more. It changes the perspective of life.
But the moment we get back home, you get back in that comfortability of like, oh, it's just gotta, like, that's not reality.
Right. This is just how it goes.
Right.
And so when we look next to justice, we have the Five of Pentacles. And when we apply that to ourselves, this is feeling abandoned or neglected within. You could be abandoning and neglecting yourself by holding yourself back from going after the things that you know would bring in this balance for you and that would bring in this fulfillment. I feel like this is speaking on changing your energy, changing the flow around your life, which obviously is going to point back to your mindset. But when you start to incorporate more things that bring you fulfillment, that bring you joy, that make you feel valuable and worthy, you start to put out a different energy that attracts different things into your life, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like people saying, go test drive that dream car. Because once you get the feel of it and the experience and you see yourself in it and you feel the leather on the chairs and pull the sunroof back and crank that bad boy up, it becomes real life for you. So you can change your mindset on like, well, it's not just a wishful thought. Like, I've actually been in it and I can actually like attain this. So it makes you feel good enough to know that you're deserving of that goodness.
Right. And it makes you want to work towards it even more.
Yeah. Or
to
not
know that
be
you got to put in more effort in order to obtain that.
But is it even putting in effort, or is it not being stingy with yourself? Like, I think some people have the things that they need in order to achieve what they seek or give themselves that fulfillment, but they hold back out of the fear of not having enough or, the fear of things running out. It's like people who feel like, I wish I could just pack up and move to another country. Like, nobody has money like that. But you do, if you're willing to like incorporate faith within that. Like,
right.
There's going to be people who want to have like $20,000 saved up before they take that risk. But you can realistically take that risk with $1,000 in faith and build as you go, right? That's what you were just speaking on. We saw a TikTok where a guy was speaking about this in a sense. You want to explain that?
When he said that you don't really build before you go, you build when you go, right, to a new place. If you was to move somewhere, you're starting fresh. Right. You ain't gonna go somewhere and it's already built for you.
Right. He used the example of birds. Like when birds migrate, their nest is not already built when they get there. They migrate and then they build their nest when they arrive. So I just think that lets you know that everything is not always going to be in order. And even when you think that it is in order, it can go wrong, right? That's what I was saying about my message for today. It was saying that, like, even if you have everything planned out to the T, you still have to be open and prepared that things could change in a completely different direction. And I feel like even for me personally coming to Mexico, my perspective of what I thought we were walking into, though it wasn't bad, just wasn't what I was expecting based off of what I seen before we got here, right? And so I came in here and had to adapt to the changes of what reality truly was. And again, it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a negative thing, but it was something that took me out of my comfort zone. So when we're looking at justice, it's clarified by the Six of Pentacles. And when we focus on Pentacles energy real quick, this is going to be like material things, earthly things, things that you can feel, touch, see. So there's a balance that's coming into you, whether this is financially or within the things that you're trying to manifest materialistically. And I think we've been focusing on that in such a negative way because we've dealt with people who are materialistic and all about money. Yeah. But it's a part of life. It's a part of this reality. It's something that is needed, right? This is just making sure that you maintain the balance to not get lost in the sauce or like get egotistical where you think that that's all that matters, because it's not. It's just part of the balance. So the Six of Pentacles with justice, again, is wrongs being righted and having a balance coming into your life. So right now you may not feel prepared. You may not feel like you have everything that you need in order to truly dive deep into what you're manifesting or what you're desiring, but it's go time. Like, this is your confirmation that it is time for you to put things into motion and let life manifest before your eyes. Like, that's part of the journey. You know, it's not getting to the destination. It's not like arriving at the destination. It's the journey within getting there.
There's levels to everything.
Yeah.
Like, you have to start from the bottom and build your way up.
And have faith that God is going to provide you with what you need along the way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that's really how this works. Because if you get on one side or the other, you're going to become too stagnant. If you're sitting here waiting for God to do it all, you're going to be sitting, because faith without work is like nothing, right? And if you're sitting here trying to do all the work and control, you're lacking that faith. And God can't work in between that either. So it's you doing your part and also allowing God or the universe or, you know, your spirit guides, ancestors, whatever it is that you believe in, to be that balance that you need in order to succeed, right? And that may just be the seen and the unseen.
Right. And going with the flow, like ready for things to change, not expecting it that it's going to be as easy or as difficult all the time.
So when we look into justice with this Two of Swords, this is about taking a moment to really contemplate, question yourself on what is really causing road blockages right now. And it's more so your mind. There's something that is repeating or looping within your thought patterns that are making you feel like you will forever get the short end of the stick, that you will forever have to deal with injustices. And that's not the truth, because in reality, you are the one who calls the shots, right? So like today at the end of my message that I channeled, it was a reminder to stand in my truth, because I am karma, and I don't have to fear like wrongdoings being done to me unless I allow them to. And I don't know, like that kind of made me question myself in reality for a minute. But that is our power that we have. Like, our mind is that powerful, and what we succumb to is what it's going to be. But what we stand proudly and firmly on is also what manifests as well. Like, when you confidently believed in yourself and believed what you were going after, you truly accomplished that shit in one way or another. But when you doubted and underestimated yourself, you usually got what you were fearing.
Right. I think we hand our power over too many times to what people say and what happens, and in those moments we hand over that power and we sit there with fear that has been placed on us, and we then got to start like digging ourselves out of that.
Right. That's the illusions that other energies try to place into our reality, because whether we believe it or not, we do still have full control of how we see things and how we see our life, right? So if we look into like COVID, for example, there was a lot of fear tactics to make people feel like, oh, if you go out, if you do this, you're going to get sick. And not to say that that wasn't a real thing, but you giving into that fear opens up your energy to be attacked or to be, hit with sickness. Whereas if you remained in that balanced place of having faith And for us, it was just like, if it's our time, then it's our time. Like, we weren't being reckless and going out acting like we couldn't get sick and it couldn't happen to us. But we also didn't let it, like, hinder us from living our life and continuing to, like,
and you just
build.
and you start putting in things to protect yourself.
Right.
Yeah, we wasn't going to naively and not wear a mask. And maybe we upped on our vitamins and, you know, we realized that you got to take care of your health and your body and, like, just believe that you're going to, you know, do what you need to do to be strong and feel strong.
Right. But, you know, some people, like, took that all the way to the extreme and they didn't leave their house. They didn't do nothing, you know. So, again, to each its own. But in order to not restrict yourself and make you feel like other people or things are in control of your reality, you have to, again, bring in your faith, bring in the things that you cannot see, and believe that whatever God is putting on your heart, that guidance to move forward, to go after something that you may feel is impossible, is realistic for you. Because, again, God does not play tricks with us. God is not going to be like, oh, here's $1 and then take it from you. You know, like, no, God's going to be like, here's your $1. I want you to walk towards it. And you may hit a little, like, bump along the way, but it's still going to be there at the end of the day, you know? So it's then going to be up to you about your determination and your commitment to see things through. So again, the Two of Swords poses the question of you asking yourself, what is really keeping you stuck right now? Because it's easy for us to blame everything and everyone else, but you just may be the person who is causing the injustices in your life and making you feel like things will never be right. So when we look at this Five of Pentacles, this is that lack. When the Six of Pentacles is here to clarify, justice is bringing in what you need. Justice is always going to bring in that balance for you. And even in the past, like I said, when you dealt with injustices, it was still the balance that you needed to be prepared for this moment, to bring in the things that you have always wanted and know what to do with it. Like if we got the things that we asked for years ago, we still wouldn't have valued it in the ways that we would value it now, or know what to do with these ideas or these creations or these businesses in the ways that we know now, due to the failure and the shortcomings that we experienced before, right? So in whatever sector of life this is resonating in, it can be an all-around message. But for you to still feel unbalanced at the end of the day because you feel inadequate or invaluable in some sense, this Four of Wands is saying that's the foundation that you need to wipe clean and start over. If you are still feeling invaluable, abandoned, neglected, like you don't belong, then that means you're still trying to resonate on a vibration and on a foundation that you just don't fit in no more. You know, it's like trying to fit in those jeans from high school when you a grown ass woman now with hips and ass. Right? It's time for you to move into the things that are fitting for who you are now, and not trying to place yourself back down into places and spaces and things that you have tremendously outgrown. Whether that's physically or spiritually, vibrationally, things are just not ever going to feel the same, because you're not the same, whether you can see that, acknowledge that, or not.
Yeah, I like that. It's about giving yourself a clean slate. Not being afraid to start over and start fresh. And like you said, and then fill yourself with the things that you are now. You can't fit in that size 2 no more. Go buy those size 10 jeans.
Right. And that doesn't mean that you can't rock those size 10 jeans.
Right.
Like, I got on TikTok this morning, and I think the lady was, like, cosplaying, but she has, like, a alter ego character of, like, Granny. But Granny's supposed to be, like, 70, but she still dressed. Like, she was still looking fine. And it just made me laugh, because it is true that people feel like because you're a certain age or because you look a certain way, like, you're supposed to, like, I don't know, her whole, like, story was, like, just because I'm 70 don't mean I need to go in the granny section and buy a cardigan and an ankle skirt with some little flat ballet slippers. She was like, if I still got it and I feel good, like, I can dress how
Granny still
how
turning
I want
heads,
to.
right?
Right, and she was. And that's what I'm saying. People going to say whatever they want to. And she was saying, like, just because I dress like this don't mean that I want your man or I'm going to take your man. Like, I still know who I am at the end of the day. It's just about owning you no matter what, right? Crazy example, but that's just what this is. It doesn't mean that letting go of what used to be or what was means that what is to come is going to be anything less than that. Like, if anything, it's going to be more. You know, when we're younger, we fear getting older. And I think that life, it's kind of a double standard because it's hypocritical. I do feel like it gets a little harder because you are more wiser, but it gets better as well. So,
like fine wine, baby.
Like fine wine, if you handling it right.
So, if you stored it right.
Yeah. Taking care of you is going to be the key. And you take care of you by filling yourself with the things that make you feel good, that make you want to wake up and do life. And again, like, that's going to be different for everyone, and it's regardless of what people think that it should be for you. I'm pretty sure someone is feeling like Kayla is 32 and she's still over here trying to do backflips like she was in high school. Yeah, that shit makes me happy. It's not about me still proving to myself that I'm young and I can, like, that's just a part of me. Like, I'm always going to be dancing. I'm always going to be on a jungle gym trying to do something because that's just who I am. And when we look at this Four of Pentacles energy behind the Six of Pentacles, this is going to take you out of feeling abandoned or lost or like you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Because again, when you stay in this mindset of feeling like you will always have to take the short end of the stick, or you will never be able to have the time to do what you want to do or live the life that you see as fulfilling, you're just going to be walking a path of emptiness.
Heaviness. Yeah. Waking up like it's nothing to look forward
to.
It's
heavy and empty.
Yeah.
All in the same. Like, it's depressing.
It's like waking up with a headache every day.
So, again, the Nine of Cups is clarified by the King of Swords. This is getting just as real as you can with yourself about what it is that you truly want and desire, without, again, the judgments that you've placed on yourself or that you've allowed other people to get in your head about. Even if it's not like people that you know personally, it could be just society. You know, this is being truthful with yourself, and that's the way that you're going to find the momentum that you need in order to move. The King of Swords is masculine energy. That's about movement. This communication, this clarity that comes through is going to help you know how to get out of your head, how to clear out a cycle that you have been longing to close out. But you also got to know that you're growing, or you've already grown and you still have a lot more to grow into. And if you are in a place of wanting to stay complacent, then you're making a choice and no one else is making that for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anything else?
No, I think that's right on. So just wipe your slate clean.
Wipe it clean and build again. It's not even building again. It's just building something new. Something that's more for you.
And it don't have to be big. It don't have to be a big jump. It just be little things like...
Yeah, because that's the build-up over time.
Right. That's the levels. There's levels to this.
You could cuss. But yeah, y'all get it. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.